welcome to the RPMG channel. My name is Salom, and today I am with Eddie on the Ryde Chat, talking about mechanics and how to look out for a good mechanic. A lot was shared, and I hope you enjoy and learn a lot from what we're talking about. So please enjoy.
Yes, hello. Yes. So we are talking about who is your
Your
mechanic.
mechanic,
Yes.
yeah.
Tell us something. Tell us.
So, as we are getting this started, we should understand that um, a vehicle or a car is a machine. You understand? Even with we, the human beings, we need to maintain ourselves. You get it? Like, make sure you take good care of yourself. In the same way, you need to take care of your car. To have a good car is basically how you maintain it. Somebody can have a very old car and maintain the car, make sure that they take very good care of the car. And that, truth be told, boils down to the mechanic, the one who does it for you. So in a human being's case, is the doctor. You get it. So if you have a bad doctor, I've heard so many cases where somebody will go to the hospital, they gave him drugs that he was not supposed to take. And it became, one of them became fatal. He actually got kidney failure.
Wow.
Yeah, and he has to deal with it. So in the same way, imagine you get a bad mechanic, there's nothing wrong with your car, that you just go and approach some things, Charlie. So it's very necessary for you to take care of your car the same way you take care of yourself. So maybe that's a prelogue to what we are coming to discuss.
Okay. All right. So you heard it from Salom. If you are going to be taking care of your body, you need a good doctor.
Yes.
The same way, if you are going to be taking care of your car, you need a very, very good mechanic.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's what we are about this afternoon. If you are watching this particular live, we are helping you to make a decision on choosing the proper mechanic, your car doctor.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yes. So, what are the things you look out for, Salom, when you have to select a mechanic? I've heard you share a few stories here and there, so I know, the Ghana experience.
I think it's in Ghana here, most of the times, you get your mechanic based on someone's recommendation. Most of the time, I'm sure it's everywhere. Somebody recommending, oh, guy, well, you good pa. You call somebody, oh, my gasket is at 40 or my distance is 40, oh, minimum. Then they'll just give you a number, then you call, you give the car to the person, and you hope the person will do a good job on the car for you. So in Ghana, most of the times it's based on recommendation. But then it's just like any other thing. Do your own research. So they tell you that, okay, this guy is good. If it is not a problem that if the guy messes up on, will cost you a lot, then fine, you can try here and there. But if it's a major thing, one thing leading to another, that's leading to another, then I think you should do your research. It shouldn't be only based on someone's recommendation.
Okay. You should do your research, not based on just one person's recommendation. Yes.
Do your research.
Do your research. So what are the things you're going to look out for?
So for me, I'm going to look out for the person's experience. Okay. So, in Ghana here, we call them masters. And fine. There's somebody who can be very young and be a master. But you are going to, of course, engage the person, find out what is it that you are good at. What have you done? What are you capable of doing? In a workshop, you see a lot of broken down cars. You can ask questions like, why are the cars there? Is it because the people didn't have money to come and do it, or they just came to leave it there? Just a casual talk, but you are fishing. You are trying to get information. So how experienced is this person? And even the person who is really recommending the mechanic to you, look at the person's car. If the person's car is okay, if the person's car looks okay, fine. But if you see that the car, actually, this car, you advise yourself. So experience is the first thing. And another thing about mechanics that we need to really address is if the person is reliable.
Reliable. Okay.
How reliable is the person?
How reliable is that mechanic?
Is the mechanic. If the mechanic is not reliable, you should understand that, Charlie, you can't rely on anything he does for you. And there have been incidences whereby when I was a small boy, we had this car overheating. Oh my God. See, we'll give the car to the mechanic. It will come back a week later, it will overheat again.
Wow.
I mean, it brings.
What car was that?
It was an Opel.
An Opel.
Yeah. It was, I think, the Opel. It was an Astra, I think.
An Opel Astra.
Yeah.
Yeah, Astra.
Overheating, it would overheat.
Okay.
You understand? So reliability too is there, and if you can, I'm not saying trust the person, but the person should be trustworthy. You know, when they can, most mechanics, me, I've seen it so many times. As you said, we were talking about it at that time. They will go and buy the part. I understand it's business. Me, I know that, Charlie, we are all doing business. But I realize that, Charlie, the guy will go and buy the thing 1 CD and come and tell you that the thing is 30 CDs. You get it?
Yeah.
Mind you are, as you're going to the mechanic, for consumer, what's the word I wanted to use? For the consumer to understand or to know what we are talking about, you have to understand price is also part. I mean, you go to a place where the price is cool, is good enough. You understand?
Yeah.
So the person being trustworthy is also a thing where the person can tell you that, I want to buy this thing 10 cities, and this is what I'm doing. This is the job I'm doing for you. Blah blah blah. So you also be nice on your pocket. And another thing you also have to look out for is how neat is the place when you go there. You may think that is not a big deal, but you see, it's these little things that can finish your car for you. Maybe the guy, he just throws anything anywhere. There's sound everywhere. He doesn't clean the place. And if to me, I think it speaks a lot. If you are clumsy with where you are, your environment, me, I can just assume that you are clumsy when you are coming to these things, because most of the things they do for you, they take the car apart and they try to put it back together.
Okay.
So if you are clumsy, if where you work is clumsy, I can only assume that, as you said, you take the engine apart and you forget about the gungeon pin. And once putting the engine together, Charlie, you'll be driving around and you realize that the car is misfiring. And that can lead to something else. So these are some of the, I mean, for me, these are some of the things that I look out for.
Okay.
The person should be reliable, experienced, trustworthy, and be organized.
Okay. Experienced, trustworthy, but how do you check to be sure you're able to fix your car?
Okay, so right, you buy a car, let's assume they are not cheap, but we are to the dealers.
Okay.
If it's steel rubber, so you see, with the dealers, as we are saying, you can be sure of the work they are doing for you. They are keeping the car nice for you. We have taken cars to dealers before, Charlie. When they are cleaning, they are cleaning. When the place is organized, they are very careful that we don't leave oil spillage, like nothing. The place is properly organized. It's a work for you. If you have problems, you take to the engine people, whatever it is, they have a process they follow. So if it's steel rubber, in Ghana here, dealers are expensive. That way it's not a lot. But for me, it gives me some sort of peace of mind. That I know that even if I take it and it's supposed to be a return job, they are going to do it for me, and they are going to check other things. I mean, they will always use the
original part
and they diagnose the car.
Diagnostic tools.
Yeah, proper diagnostic tools. In Ghana, most places you go to, you realize that the mechanic could be experienced in, say, a Honda car, or maybe Kia cars, or maybe Korean cars. Okay, that in a way helps you a bit, because then you understand that, okay, this guy is an experienced person when it comes to these kinds of cars. So he, I want to say he or she. I mean, I can say he or she.
Yeah. We have a lot of females.
Yeah, females who are into. So he or she would understand what is happening with your car. So I like to give this example. So I used to work at this dealership, okay, and the people have worked on the car for so long. As soon as the car comes in and they just listen to the car, they know what the problem is. Yeah. Like they themselves are the diagnostic machines. As soon as they hear now, oh, car radio, you open it up and realize that it's the same thing. Yeah. One electrician, they have for him, they use. So the experience is very important. Okay, if you realize that the person is doing only these kinds of things, it's very important. So those are for the let me put it as kwanchen. When I say kwanchen, the roadside mechanics, or the people who have not been able to establish their place of work.
Yeah, a well-organized workshop.
Yeah, well-organized workshop. Yes, so those are some of the things. But now we are having people like Stancast who now have organized places where they can open it up for you.
Yeah.
So for those places to, again, it comes on recommendation. You go there, you have a chat, you give them your car. They are on the higher level. We have quite a number.
Yeah.
There's some on the Spintex Road. I mean, there are
a lot of great workshops around
workshop.
Yes, well organized, up to standard.
Exactly.
Okay, workshops now in Ghana. People are gradually getting it, and we have mechanics who are also upgrading themselves, learning, and they know what you're about. And you are right. In Ghana, a lot of experts in one car, the other, or a group of cars. So some will say German car expert.
Exactly.
Some will say Japanese car expert.
Exactly.
Some will say Korean car expert.
American cars.
Some are even brand based. They'll say, okay, Honda and Toyota. Some are just one particular brand. But me, I can tell you that I've been to a lot of places that say they are one thing or the other.
But they still do everything.
Yes. Some will tell you carburetor expert. Some will tell you a gearbox expert. And sometimes a name that they will use to call a particular part of the car will tell you,
you should be careful.
You should be careful.
Yeah, you see, that's all part of what I said earlier. You engaging them.
Yeah.
You get it. Engage them.
Yes.
Listen to what they're saying.
So that you have the recommendation, all right. Yes. But note that sometimes maybe the person has had good luck with that person.
But you,
I can use the word.
Yeah, but you took it to
but it won't work like that for you. So you're going to have a good chat. Okay. So like you're saying, recommendation. Go and have a chat with them. This person, mentioned you to me. I have this problem with my car. It's reoccurring. I took it to this place, and just listen to them. That will mean that you will also have to, educate yourself a little bit.
Right.
That is why this channel exists, and it is very, very important for you to be informed about your car. It is a crime to go using a car uninformed. You get hurt. Your heart will get broken, and you weep, and your pocket will cry unnecessarily.
Let's just spare some people.
Yes, so please be watching these videos. And educate yourself, so that when you meet this guy and you are chatting, I tell him, okay, I have this problem. I took it here, I took it there, and the problem is not going away. And you start talking, then he starts responding, and the things that he tells you. If you know a little bit about cars, it's not like you have to know plenty. If you know a little bit about cars, you know that what the person is saying is he's a good mechanic, or he's a dangerous mechanic, if I should say.
Or maybe a learning mechanic. He's not learning. He's not. Your car.
No, you see, your car carries you.
Yes.
Your life.
Exactly.
Your life is, yes, because today driving here on the N1, okay, there was this mini truck that for some reason the axles have seized.
Wow.
Which means that the rear wheels were not moving, and it is a 5-lane dual carriage way, and the car was right in the middle, and they were trying to push it. Okay, so supposing this thing happened and there was a big trailer behind you, this is a mini truck.
What would you do?
It will flatten you.
Just have to run for your life.
Exactly.
And even running for your life, crowd. There are cars coming from the other side. So how sure are you?
mechanics, I'm talking to you if you want to learn, not my car.
It's very dangerous.
Finish learning first. And that's also very important because I have a couple of mechanic friends, and sometimes when you tell them, when other mechanics come in for apprenticeship, they are not, should I say, patient enough, to allow themselves to be taught. I have had the opportunity to work as an educator, okay, at one part of my life. That was what I used to do. And I would tell you that for someone to be able to learn, okay, for someone to have to teach somebody, that person has to be ready to do what? To learn.
To learn, exactly.
Yes. The fact that you sit in a classroom doesn't mean that you are learning.
Well, you're even ready.
Yes.
You're not ready to learn.
I always used to tell my students that, look, it's like somebody giving you something. If I'm giving you something and you already have something in your hand, how do you take what I'm giving you? Mm-hmm. A teacher stands in front of the class, or let's say an instructor, teaching you how to be a good mechanic, and you are like, I know this already, I know this already. You cannot learn with that attitude.
Exactly.
Yes, so that is also part, because sometimes you encounter certain people, I have mechanics who are very, very well experienced, but even when they meet you, you are not a practicing mechanic, but because of what you do, you've picked up a lot of knowledge over the years, and you are talking, despite the fact that they are so experienced and they are skilled and experienced, but they still have the ears
to listen
to you, and that is a kind of mechanic personally I like. Somebody who wants to learn new things always. Yes. So if you're out there, yes, gather some things. You cannot work as a mechanic, but once you have a car, you gather a bit of knowledge here and there. Anytime you have the opportunity, read a little about it. Watch shows like this. Educate yourself, so that when you go and you start talking to your mechanic, you mention certain things straight away. The mechanic, if he's sensible, he hears certain things. I'm using the word sensible, yes, because some of them they're on a different level. Even when you are telling them sense, they still won't get
listen.
They still won't get it, and they will blowing jazz. Straight away they will get them, and once they get the memo, they go check themselves, and they're saying that a good mechanic should be trustworthy, should be skilled
and experienced.
Should be reliable. It should be reliable. Okay, so that's 4.
So, with a car, right? As I said earlier, it's a machine. Anything can be to the car.
Yeah.
You need somebody, again, I think I'll pick the number 5 from you, who is ready to learn. Unfortunately, I can't say for the mechanics we have here, that is the roadside mechanics, okay, that they have any experience from the people who manufacture the cars. So most of them, they try to get it. Quite honestly, I've been thinking about it. I don't know where some of them get their knowledge in cars from. Maybe they have a general knowledge. A car has an engine, it has a carburetor, it has this, it has that, it has an exhaust, it has this how they have a general knowledge of how a car functions. But then they probably might just be picking things up as they go on certain cars. Because as you said, the way Honda will put their cars together, that's not the same way Toyota will do that. Even though they are all from Japan. The way Hyundai will put their cars
Hyundai, that's what but you can, they say you can say it anyway that you're comfortable.
The way they put their cars together is not the same way Toyota or any of these brands put them together. Awesome. So you realize that there will be different arrangements or even different designs to some of the things. So they pick them up as and when. So if you have someone who is willing to learn, who is a learning mechanic, even though he has some experience and some skill, he's willing to learn. I think for me it works. Someone who also listen to you. Because as you say, some mechanics, you go here telling them no, the thing is coming from here. They feel that actually they are borrow because they are mechanics, they are borrow. But you realize that at the end of the day, that's not where the problem is. They are who driving or who cannot. That's where it is. Even if you look at in cases like Formula One, you realize that the engineers know what they have done.
Yeah.
They are so like sure of what they've done, but they are very particular about the feedback from the driver, because at the end of the day, he's the one experiencing all the vibrations and the shocks and the impacts and everything of the car.
Yeah.
So if you are someone who listens and is ready to learn, for me it works.
Okay.
I can trust you with my car.
Okay.
So that'll be my number 5.
Number 5, a mechanic who listens.
Yeah, a listening and a willing to learn mechanic.
Okay.
That one I'm taking from you.
Okay. Yes. I mean, okay. So to buttress that, I would say, okay, the mechanic should also be always learning more. It's just adding to number 5, learning more, improving, because the cars we have today are improving.
Exactly.
The technology is being improved every day.
Exactly.
If you take the any car, okay, 2016 model, and you take 2020, 2023, even a year difference, you know. One of the things I've been saying, why I always say that if you can buy new, one of the points is that recalls, for example. Okay, a car can be manufactured today, okay, and tomorrow the next one will have some changes done to it, all right, because probably there's been a recall. Okay, so between the two cars, if you've only experienced the one from yesterday, okay, and one day you get the newer one, you will struggle a little bit because some of the components might have changed.
Exactly.
Okay, so cars are changing so fast. You also have to educate yourself on a daily basis.
So do you think so there are levels, as we said earlier. So they are the wayside mechanics. They are the very organized workshops, and they are the dealers. Right now, I mean, let's agree on these 3 categories.
Oh yeah. I mean, yes. Basically.
Now, if you look at the well-organized workshop, they have the capacity to actually travel to wherever they make the cars and learn, as you are saying, year in, year out, new technology, new facelifts, new designs, things can become different. But for the first category, that's the wayside people.
Yeah.
Like, you see, they are abreast to a certain level. And this is me being honest. Okay, they are abreast to a certain level. And most of them, like what you said about the diagnostic guys, he is not what you call illiterate. Okay, he learns it from a master, and he's now a master who has his workshop. And he just believes that, I have, what's it called? The car has, this how it moves. Engine, transmission, exhaust, finish. And with the engine, you have some components there, finish. You have the fan. If the fan is not working, then what's it called? The engine will overheat. So if you come with overheating problem, the only thing he might be changing is, or we'll be looking at his fan. You have what's it called? Your light is not working. Change bulbs. This is not working. This, or maybe the fuse. So as you said, they have specific people. So they have the electricians.
Yeah.
Who, when the car comes, they are people we assume, or they assume that they have all knowledge when it comes to electricals.
Yeah.
So the wiring, the fuse, everything, the radio, all those things. Yeah, the electrician is the one supposed to do it. The mechanic, his is the bang, 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 the hard things, the engine. That's how they have broken it down. Yeah. Now, I want us to exploit this region before we go to the next one. I think it will better help the conversation. Because now, if you say who is a mechanic, I can just say that, as I told you, just go to the dealers. Just go to the dealers. But maybe to someone's price bracket, dealers will be a bit on the high side for them.
Yes, I mean, I don't think that we are advocating here that, I mean, it's an advice, okay, but not all of us can afford to take our cars, I mean, to yes, even some of the people who can afford might still find that some other independent mechanic shops give them very, very good service.
Exactly.
And they cater for all their needs, so they don't even. And you might even find some independent workshops, which might be even more expensive than the dealers.
Very true.
Okay.
Very true.
Yes. So for me, like you were saying, the last point, sorry, we mentioned was education, educating themselves, learning. You don't necessarily have to travel, especially, okay, that everybody is on their phone. I mean, sometimes you go to Makola, you know, and the women are selling and their phone is there and they are watching things on YouTube, you know. I mean, my mom is well advanced in age, but she watches stuff on YouTube. You get what I'm saying? And I say that she's not that techie.
Knows how to navigate her.
Yes. Okay. So it's about in YouTube movie video. Sorry. So yes, very very important. Now I'm gonna
Or I was even going to say to buttress that point too. There's nothing wrong with you going to these. I don't know if it's done, but then these organized workshops or even the dealers to ask them to learn. You could just go to them. Oh, I am a mechanic, but I've realized that these cars coming, they are on a different level.
You're right. I mean, there are training institutions. For example, when you come to Rana Motors has a mechanic school called West African Auto Academy, you know, and West African Vehicle Academy, you know, and they are people who are very, very well trained, very well qualified, you know, training people who train mechanics. Okay, and mechanics come in. Even just a few months ago, they organized what they call diagnostic cup, where some of their students and students from other institutions come and compete against each other in diagnosing cars.
Amazing.
And they give cups for it.
Okay.
You know, trophies, if I must say. And it's solid. And these are the things that we support.